I've had this Casio Databank calculator watch for a couple years now, and during that time it's had a lot of heavy use and it's also taken a lot of abuse. The display has gotten a lot of these tiny scratches. This is an acrylic crystal, not glass or sapphire, so it's a lot more susceptible to this kind of damage. But today we're going to take care of that using some toothpaste, so stand by. Right, so what we're going to be doing is taking advantage of the abrasive quality of toothpaste. We're going to take some of that, smear it on the screen, give it a good rub, and that should take out minor scratches and scuffs on that display. Let's take some of this stuff here. And give it a good swirl. Take a little more. This is a great watch. I've had this, I think I got this in 2018. Wore it almost daily. It's got a nice big display on it, which is great to see from a distance. You can see it at a lot of different angles too, which is great. And it's also chock full of information. It tells you the date, the day, the year, which is handy if you're like me and you don't really keep track of what day of the week or what the date is. Let's take some more of that toothpaste. I'll tell you what, at least it won't stink when we're done. It'll be a minty fresh calculator watch. Funny thing about this watch, it's a calculator, but it's pretty difficult to use unless you have very tiny fingers. So the calculator function doesn't get a whole lot of use. I've used it a handful of times for the novelty of it, but other than that, it's more for the aesthetic, if that's your thing. Give that a good scrub. And ideally, you don't want to get this down by the keypad there because this watch, I don't believe, has any water resistance rating, so you want to be careful with that. Of course, if you're using a different watch with an acrylic display, not that big of a deal if it has a water resistance rating. We're just going to scrub that real good. Oh yeah, it's feeling cleaner already. Alright, let's give that a wipe now with a clean microfiber rag. See what that looks like. Give that a little bit of scruff in there. Oh, I can see an improvement already. Have a look at that. It's very minor, but it is getting better. I'll give that another couple scrubs. Stand by. Alright, I'm actually using the microfiber rag. Let's get that there. Let's put a little bit more on. I'll show you what I've been doing. Nice glob on there. And I've been using the microfiber rag and making tiny circles, this rotating motion here, just to work it in. And what I'm doing is taking a very extremely thin layer of the plastic off. So the deeper you go, the more of those little scratches you're going to take away. So essentially, the more you work at it, the better a job it's going to do. You know, it is improving. Gonna work at this some more. Stand by. Well, there you have it. I think the results speak for themselves. There are still some deep scratches in there, but for the most part all that light stuff came right out, and I think with a little bit more work it could look even better. So toothpaste does take the scratches out of your acrylic crystal on your watch. Should you use toothpaste? That's not for me to say. This is an inexpensive watch and it's gotten a lot of use and it's pretty beat, so if anything bad happened, I wasn't too concerned with it. Whether or not you want to use toothpaste on your watch, that's totally up to you. I know they sell a Polywatch, which is an abrasive acrylic watch crystal cleaner, and that'll polish it up. But in a pinch, or if you have a cheap watch you don't really care about, toothpaste does do the trick.